Now that Amy and I have completed our investigations, we're ready to reveal our findings to each other and our clients for the first time. So, Amy, I want you to meet Stacy and Bernie. They've been married for about 17 years, and if we can't help them, they're not gonna make it to 18. This is their daughter, Michaela. She's 22. Now, Michaela used to live here, but she moved out about a month ago. I mean, she couldn't take it anymore. Now, their son, Jacob, who's 16, still lives here. Now, basically, we got a family that's falling apart, right? And they're actually hoping it's the paranormal, because otherwise it means they shouldn't be together. Unless Amy's got some questions for you guys, she'll describe her walk for us.
One of the first groups of dead people that I encountered seemed to be a family. There was a little girl. I put her at about 4 or 5 years of age. There was also a little boy, maybe 8 or 9. Then there was an old male that I encountered who was like probably, 65 to 70. He seemed really confused about his age. The little girl specifically is very lonely, and she is seeking attention. When she gets frustrated, she does tend to throw tantrums, like she'll throw things.
I'll sit down and have a pen or a glass or something sitting next to me, and I'll either turn around or go into another room and come back and it'll be gone.
I was sitting on the couch here, and it was Bernie and I watching television, and all of a sudden, scratched. And that was the first big thing that happened when we lived here.
Okay.
It scared the crap out of me.
Possible it's one of those family members or something else?
Possibility that the little girl did that.
Definitely shocking.
Yeah. Now, can this family do anything else to the living here?
Yes. The older male, he's not very stable as far as moods. One minute he'll be okay, and then he's pissed off. I think he had a little bit of an illness. And then the little girl does carry a lot of depression with her because she feels lonely. I do feel like each of you have your own sensitivities. So I do think you guys would definitely at times feel this way, like these unstable moods.
Well, this is a big reason we're here. I mean, everyone in the house thinks their personalities have changed. And it's tearing the family apart, basically. Your anger issues, tell Amy what's going on with that.
When I'm outside of the house, I'm fine. When I come home, I just snap. And it scares the out of me because I either punch something, I throw something.
I feel like everything's my fault in the house when we come to fights and stuff. The little comments really make me mad, and I lash out and I get angry and I get an attitude problem. But then I also get super depressed.
I feel alone. I'm isolated. I feel in my own hell.
So as far as the family goes, any idea who they were when they were alive?
When I met the little girl, she kept talking to me about an accident involving a male who died. He died from a fall. And I saw the boy and the girl's graves in a cemetery. There were also 5 other headstones that I was seeing. And 3 of those were children and 2 were adults. So 7 deaths in total here.
So it's interesting. Some of the stuff she talked about reminded me of the first owners of the property. He was an Irish immigrant by the name of Andrew Malarkey. He and his wife, Ellen, and newborn son, William, moved onto the property in 1850. But things didn't go well for him right after that. So Malarkey wound up having 7 kids, and 4 of them died under the age of 6 within a less than 10-year time period. Now, you said the kids were showing you an accident. So in 1863, Malarkey passed out drunk behind a drugstore. Now, the genealogist I spoke to said he was pretty hammered. He woke up confused and still drunk. And he stumbled around, and he fell into a stream, and he drowned. So when Malarkey died, he was about 43 years old. Now, I know it was dark during the walk, right? And you were here. So I don't know if you noticed, but there's a cemetery right behind the house. Andrew and his entire family are actually buried back there.
Oh.
So what else?
This dead individual, I call him the stalker. I think that y'all might think he's a shadow person, but he's not. He is a deceased male. So this guy is always watching, and he's always waiting for, you know, your most intimate or personal moments so he can, you know, violate them. I'm sorry.
Well, there's a reason she's upset, and both of them are. You actually even came up with a name for this thing, Stacy, right?
We call him the man, kind of always watching, looking down at us, and he's always lurking somewhere in the house.
Michaela, you saw him in the basement, right?
It was like smoky, but you could tell that it was like a person. I could see like shoulders and head. I used to feel creeped out downstairs taking showers in the basement.
I saw him grabbing a living person's feet and ankles in there. It seemed sexually motivated.
I would wake up with like little thumb bruises, it looks like, on my legs to my feet. And one night it felt like something grabbed my foot.
He's always lurking, standing in my back bedroom behind the door.
So what she's telling you that she's experiencing, does that sound something like this shadow guy's doing?
Yes. I had a sketch done.
This is more than just staring.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's where he stands.
So Bernie, you're seeing that sketch. I want you to do me a favor and tell Amy about the time you thought your wife was actually possessed.
We were laying there, and she actually started talking in what I would say is another language. And I would actually have to shake her, you know, to get her awake, and she wouldn't remember any of it happening. It was very scary.
I remember him telling me about it now.
I mean, any idea who this, lack of a better word, was when he was alive?
I got that he did have an attachment to this property. He lived with his mother, and there was some kind of a weird relationship there. It seemed like when he was alive, he had this feeling like that he's bad, he's wrong, you know, he's messed up. So I do think that he might have in life been a serial rapist or a serial stalker.